What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am here to talk to you guys about Rover. So if you came to this video, I'm sure that you're wanting to get some awesome tips and tricks and advice on being a sitter for Rover. I'm here to tell you that I feel like I'm kind of an expert now with being a dog sitter for Rover. I have been doing it since November. I have been a dog sitter since like the end of October or the beginning of November, and I love it. I love it so much. I watched so many different dogs from all different types of people, and I just have completely fallen in love with it, and Ellie loves it as well, and so does Mike. So it's kind of a win-win for us. So wanted to come onto this video, give you guys some advice, tips and tricks, my different experiences, and kind of what to expect from being a Rover sitter, and then at the end you can see if it's something that you would like too. So basically, I signed up to do Rover because I worked from home for like full time. So I was home by myself all day, full time, and I didn't have a lot of interaction with people. So I talked to people online and on the computer through my phone and stuff, but it was just something different about getting outside and being active, and I don't even know, being outside of my house more often. But at the time I really didn't want to go back to work, but I wanted to try to get creative and do something different, and also include my dog Ellie because she was kind of cooped up with me too, and I felt really bad. So I was scrolling through online looking up different ideas, and I came across this, I don't even know, it was like an ad that said, "Be a sitter for Rover," and I was like, what? That seems so cool. And I had heard about it before. My friend Amber actually is a sitter for Rover and said she was doing something like that. I just never pictured myself doing it because I live in a townhouse. So I was like, there's no way people would want to book with me. I live in a townhouse. They probably wouldn't want to do it, which I don't know why I thought that way. But I waited for like 2 months before I decided to sign up. So whenever I saw that ad, I was like, okay, it's a sign. I just need to sign up and try it. I'll babysit one dog, and if I don't like it, I can just delete it, delete my profile, and not do it again. So that's definitely something to think about for you guys. Don't hesitate to do it. If it's something you've been thinking about, just try it one time. If it doesn't fit you, you don't have to do it again, and at least you'll get paid. So I went online and I got onto the Rover website, and I fill out an application. It is just like a job. So you're gonna go online, you're gonna fill out an application. They have a questionnaire as well. You know, they want to know what kind of house you live in, where you live at, why you feel like you would be a good fit for sitting for Rover, and you also have to pass a background check at the end. They want to see where you live as well, because if you do not live in a bigger city where Rover's offered, they might not let you do it, or you just might not have a lot of luck with people booking with you and sitting. I live in Orlando, so I live like in the tourist capital of the world, and I have tons of people that message me that want to book with me, whether they're coming down here on vacation and they bring their family pet to stay with me while they're in Disney, or they just live here and they want to book with me. There's just a lot of different people. But if you come from a smaller town, which I am from a small town in Pennsylvania, I don't know how it would work there, but I can definitely find out and let you guys know. I just know that in major cities it's a thing. In the suburbs as well too. So anyway, once you pass your background check, it takes 2 to 3 days. So don't get super excited and think like once you sign up you can do it ASAP. It does take a couple days. You have to pass a background check, and you know they want to make sure that you're a good person and a good fit to be a sitter for these people's dogs. It's a big deal. It's definitely a safety issue for them because they are leaving their animal, their baby, with you, and it's high risk. And you know they don't know who you are. You're a stranger to them more than likely, so they want to make sure that you're a good person. You don't have any past history with crime, any issues with animals in the past, or whatever it might be. They just want to make sure that you're a good fit. So once you pass your background check and they feel that your questionnaire was an A+, then they will send you an email with a confirmation saying that you can be a Rover sitter and you can start immediately. So they'll prompt you with a link and you can go ahead and set up your profile. My best advice is to have a really good headshot photo. So even if it's just something like where I'm standing with a plain background and a nice like lighting and a picture of your face, maybe you have a good selfie or whatever it might be, just make sure that whenever people come to your profile, they can see your face so that they're more inclined to click your profile, because they're quite literally going to be scrolling through finding somebody to sit their dog or dogs. So you want to stand out. So once they pick your profile, they're going to read your about me. You want to make sure that your about me is really catchy, exciting. They want to know why they should pick you for them to drop their dog off. Like why should these people want to pick you so that their dog can stay with you? So just explain who you are, give a little background story of your history with animals and why you feel like you would be a fantastic fit. I was honest in mine. You know, I said I work from home full time. I have a beautiful golden retriever named Ellie who would love to have a friend. I'm very active. I love fitness. So your dog would have plenty of walks with me. I live in a wonderful neighborhood. You know, just whatever it might be, just really talk it up so that they're more inclined to want to book with you. But don't lie. Like, please don't lie on it, because they're going to find out when they drop their dog off and they're going to say this is not accurate. So yeah, make sure your profile is awesome and then set your rates. My advice is see what the rates are going for in your area and drop it down like $5 below so it's competitive pricing, especially if you're new. For people that are seasoned vets on there, they charge a little more because their ratings rock, but as a brand new person, I would not go in there guns blazing and charge like $50 a night to like overnight a dog with you. My best advice is to charge like maybe $30 for an overnight stay, $20 for doggy daycare, maybe $15. You can charge $15 to walk people's dogs, and you can charge like $25 to $30 to go to their house to watch their house with their dog there. There's a lot of different options, but I definitely suggest going through different profiles on there and just check out what the rates are going for in the area and what people are charging, and then kind of make yours competitive so people will want to book with you. If you have any photos of yourself with animals, maybe you have some like dogs of your own or cats of your own, I suggest uploading photos of you with animals. You don't have to, but it's definitely a good idea. It'll make them more inclined to want to book with you. So I had a ton of pictures and stuff on there of Ellie and I, so they knew what Ellie looked like. Pictures of my boyfriend Mike, because he lives here as well. So they weren't only going to be, you know, leaving their dog with me, they're going to be leaving my dog with him too. So I just wanted to be as transparent as possible in my profile, you know, who all lives here, what they all look like, and what they can expect. So then you wait. Then you have to open up your calendar. So if you aren't open on the weekdays, then you have to mark that on your calendar that you're not, or people are going to want to book with you. You're not going to be available, and then they're going to get kind of upset that they took the time to read your profile and it wasn't accurate. So just make sure that your calendar is synced up and matched with your outside life schedule. So for me, I work during the daytime, obviously I work full time, but I have the evenings open and the weekends open, and the daytime is open for Mike. So Mike will babysit during the daytime because he works from home and then works in the evenings for a pyrotechnics company. So we're kind of all over the place. So just make sure your calendar is accurate so that when they book with you, they know when you are available. Make sure that you, when you're in your calendar, that you say how many dogs you're willing to take a day. You're allowed to pick. I suggest if you're just starting out to only take 1 to 2 dogs at maximum, especially if you already have a dog of your own. That can add up really quick, and I do have a story about that in a little while in my video about when I booked too many dogs and I got super overwhelmed. So once they book with you, you can read through what their dog is like. So you know, what does their dog look like? Do you think you can handle them? Do they have aggressive issues? So, and it's something I always look at whenever somebody's booking with me. I always make sure that their dog doesn't have any past aggressive issues, because I just don't want Ellie to get hurt or myself to get hurt if they got into a fight. You know, is it a puppy? I don't honestly take people's puppies in because I don't really want to have my house destroyed with chewing and stuff. I don't take puppies, but you can totally do that. This is just my preference and how I filled out my profile. What else? Yeah, just make sure that you're open about what you want so that people that book with you know, like, okay, is my dog a good fit for this person or are they not? And then you can confirm the booking. It'll tell you how much it is. Rover does take 20%, so please be aware. I just watched a dog. Her name was Leela, and it was for 6 nights. So 6 nights, $30 a night. It was $180, but then, you know, you take 20% of that $180, and that cuts it down by like $36 to $40. Rover does take a cut, but it's kind of helpful for tax season. So just kind of think about it like that. You don't have to really worry about it as much later. Yeah. And once you book with the dog, I definitely suggest a meet and greet if you have a dog of your own. I wouldn't just bring a dog right into your house. I would definitely schedule a meet and greet, maybe at a local park. They could come to your house and your dogs could kind of sniff one another outside. I always book a meet and greet unless if it's somebody coming in on vacation. That way they can come to my house, see what it looks like, and, you know, see if their dog likes Ellie, if their dog likes me, if they like where I live. That way they are getting their money's worth. If it's a daytime drop-off, I don't really do a meet and greet, but if they are having an extended stay, like 5 to 7 days, then I try to get them here to see where their dog is going to stay. So they can see where their dog is staying, to make sure that they're safe and they're comfortable leaving their dog here for that long. Next, once you have the dog here, make sure you dog-proof your house. Definitely have lots of cleaning supplies in case if they maybe accidentally go potty on the floor. Extra treats for the dog to make it nice and fun. But for me, it was honestly super easy because I already have a dog of my own, Ellie, my golden retriever, and they would play all day. Like, I barely had to do anything because honestly, they just went crazy all day. They just would play and play and play. And this was pretty much every dog that I brought into my home. Ellie was super playful with them and cuddly, and they just had so much fun, and they honestly kept themselves occupied, and I didn't really have to worry about it so much. I would definitely say, like, you know, I suggested before, don't take in more than 1 to 2 dogs or more that you can handle. I did take in a huge group of dogs over Christmas, and I was extremely overwhelmed. We made amazing money from it, which was awesome because it was right during Christmas time. So you make even more money during holidays if people book with you over the holidays, which is awesome. But I took in, oh my gosh, I don't even know, 4 dogs, 3 or 4 dogs, and then I had my own dog. And the one dog that I had was extremely aggressive, and I didn't realize it. He was a giant white husky, and he was very dominant, and I just didn't realize how crazy it was going to be, like, babysitting him. And we had a lot of issues with him, like, biting at Ellie and being aggressive towards the other dogs. And it was just a little crazy. And his, like, diet was only meat. He only ate hamburger. And it was just pretty intense and really, like, high maintenance. So, going into it next time, I'll be a little more prepared because not only did I have to worry about him and the safety of the other dogs, but I had the other dogs too running around all over my house. I had a King Spaniel. I had a Vizsla dog. Her name's Sophie. She comes here all the time. She's a regular. And yeah, it was just nuts. I had dogs all over my house, and then it was just way too much for me, and I won't be doing that again in a townhouse. If you live in a larger house with a backyard, then by all means take in a couple dogs. I don't see it being a problem, but for me, it was definitely not going to work out. So trial and error on that. I will not be taking in that many dogs at one time again. But yeah, I just actually had one of my dogs leave today. Her name was Leela, and she stayed with us for 6 days. She stayed with us for 6 days, and we loved having her here. I actually cried when she left because I grew extremely attached to her. Being a Rover sitter has been so therapeutic for me. I don't know, I just love dogs so much, and having those dogs here and giving all my love and energy to them, seeing how happy Ellie is playing with them, it gets Mike and I outside. We go on tons of walks with the dogs, and it brings extra income into our house too. I just don't really see anything wrong with being a Rover sitter. Just make sure that you're open about what you want with being a Rover sitter, the types of dogs that you're willing to babysit and not willing to babysit. Like, if you don't think you can handle a big dog, you need to mark that on your profile, like 50 pounds and under. Or if you think you can handle a big dog, like I had that giant white husky, he was like 100 pounds. If you think you can handle that, then mark it. So just really take your time on your profile so that the best dogs are coming to your house for you to watch. So I would say all in all, Rover was the best decision that I have ever made. I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all. We've met amazing people. It's made Ellie a better dog. She's just so great with like other dogs and playing, and it's just only made her better by doing Rover. It's brought extra income into our house, which is amazing, and honestly, it's not that much work for me, at least, because I find it to be so fun. It's a hobby for us. It's just something fun to do. Having the dogs here has been such a joy. You will find that it's not always peaches and roses. You might have a dog that like potties a lot on the floor. Just make sure you're prepared with like, I don't know, dirty towels, whatever it might be, towels, you know, the urine soaker spray, lots of treats and stuff, and just make sure that you're well prepped and prepared to be watching somebody's dog. My best tip to kind of wrap it up, take lots of photos for the owner. I have found by taking a ton of photos for the owner and sending it to them, because you're on like a Rover number text basis, like Rover sets up a number for them, you can text back and forth on it. I have found by like sending them photos and videos of their dog, it made my ratings skyrocket, number one, and number two, it put them at ease, because, you know, obviously if you love your dog, you do kind of feel uneasy. You're like, oh, I'm leaving my dog at this strange place, but the experience that their dog is going to get is so amazing. It is hands down worth the money to them when they see how happy your dog is and how much fun they're having. It's way better than boarding at a kennel, I feel. Also, speaking of, because a lot of people are like, well, with a kennel, like there's a lot like more safety behind that. Luckily with Rover, there is a Rover hotline. If something bad happens with the dog, you get locked out of your house, the dog gets sick, there's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week Rover hotline that you can access. And number two, there is insurance that comes with it as well. So if you run into any issues with the dog, if something terrible happened, you are protected. They have it all figured out, and you are very well taken care of by Rover. I know you guys are probably like, income, like could I make this full time? You can absolutely make this a full-time job. I actually read a statistic online that there's some people that can make close to like $3,000 a month from doing Rover, but you have to take in a lot of dogs. Like you gotta like factor the math out on that. For us, that's pretty much cut in half, because we both are working, we have other things going on. We do not have the time or the space to take in more than 1 to 2 dogs, so that it doesn't add up to that. But for you, if you can take in a lot of dogs, like, yeah, you probably could make it a full-time job, which is absolutely amazing. So if you can't go to work, maybe you want to be at home full-time like me, it's my favorite thing to do, you just aren't sure what you want to do, get up on Rover. And if it's not in your area yet, then just hang tight. I know these things are kind of a slow release. It's the same with Uber and Lyft and Amazon Eats. You know, everything is a slow release in smaller towns, in smaller areas, but eventually everybody's going to want to be a part of Rover. I feel whether you're from a small town or from a city, people are going to want their dogs to be watched. When I lived in Pennsylvania, I had to board my dog when I went on vacation, so that I don't feel there's any difference. So if it's not in your area yet, just stay patient. It probably will be coming soon. The app is fairly new. I only think it's like a year or 2 old, honestly. But we are going to continue to do it. We love it, and we are going to be bringing in more dogs. So hands down, 10 out of 10, I suggest babysitting with Rover. And if you've been thinking about it for a long time, go do it. Don't forget, if you don't like it, it's okay. You can just close out your app and cancel your account, but you never know until you try. And what's not to love about cuddling dogs, right? So I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you found this video helpful. Make sure you subscribe and like this video if you loved all the tips that you got. Ask any questions below. Maybe I forgot to talk about something, and we will talk soon. Bye, y'all.